So they were going to kill those kids. Those kids were never going to see the light of day. You can't be missing. You know how many kids we have missing in the United States each year? Upwards of 100,000 kids. You got to take them in groups of 70. You can't take them one at a time. This ain't the 1980s kidnapping. This isn't, hey, little girl, get in here. I got candy. No, I need 70. 70 at once.
But then how did the girls not come out hysterical? I mean, that's what I'm wondering. If there was something nefarious going on, and I'm not discounting that there could have been, but if there was, it seems like there would have been screaming. There would have been, let us out, let us out. Danger grabbed us. Somebody let us free. How did they get down there? And what's the story is the question. It's like,
well, so stuff that I've seen completely unrelated. Like I've seen stuff about child sacrifice where I remember one time a video I heard that the person thought that they were just going to do a bloodletting. They told this person, we're just going to cut you and you're going to bleed a little. And so they were like, okay, yeah, if you're just going to cut me and I'm going to bleed a little, that's fine. I can deal with that. And then they killed them instead of cutting them. I'm saying that's a part of these people believe that they have to extend the suffering. So it's not just about killing you. It's the magic I get from killing you. I have to make you suffer.
Yeah.
Part of that suffering is to lure you into something that you didn't even know until the last minute that it was scary. I don't need to scare you into the tunnel. Once I got you in the cave system or whatever, that is scary. I just need to lure you down here. And then we're talking about people working with me. The guy that just drives the bus, he doesn't know. Whoa, the guy, it scared me. I had to turn around like, what the fuck? What's going on, man?
What's up?
Hey, man, how you doing? I thought we were going to get a baby surprise today. I was like, I didn't expect it to be you.
The baby's sleeping right now.
Okay, I seen you had the high chair thing posted a few weeks ago, and so I thought we'd get a baby surprise today. Well, how you been, man?
I'm good. If she wakes up while you guys are still live and recording, I'll bring her up.
Awesome, dude.
But yeah,
I thought somebody was walking up behind me. I'm thinking, what in the heck am I looking at? They're here for me. They're here for me.
Well, and it doesn't help, like the topic you were on at the time.
Oh, yeah.
And all of a sudden, dude, I hear Matt behind me, and I go, "Oh, Donovan's going to drop one right here." He's going free.
It's good to see you, man. We're just talking about some good old reptilian baby kidnappers and the little girls that got lost under New York.
The usual.
The use, man. We got to bust these conspiracies. The reptilians are coming for us, and they all want us to drive EVs and, eat 3D printed meat. And so we got a lot of work to do.
Yep. Trust me. My girlfriend digs into those.
Yeah. Well, start sending me some. We got some to get to. It's fun for us to get into them, but sometimes my head is so overwhelmed with the different topics that I find it hard to really nail one down or really give it its justice,
I get it. I mean, there's too many out there.
There is. Even now, like we've done tonight with all these jumping on the different topics, it's like.
Yeah. There's no shortage of fodder for the brain. So,
no.
Yeah. So unless I understand how somebody gets into this full time is there really is so many different, there's just so much, it's that connecting the dots that you've talked about before, that it's like, yeah, there's 1,000 dots out there. When you start seeing the connections between them, then it's like, oh, wait a minute. What about, oh, this goes with that. This looks awful familiar to that other thing I was looking at. So it's, yeah, I get how it all comes together.
And it all comes down to they don't want us to know that even though we're sinners, we can be forgiven. Even though we see all this bad going on, Jesus still already won. That's the part. That's the conspiracy. Jesus,
Yeah.
not Buddha,
Yeah.
not the other gods.
Not money. I mean, that's
Not
not
money.
money. Power. That's the, yeah. I mean, that's the part where I'm like, yeah, that's the interesting thing is it's like, you would think as smart, as connected, as studied as some of the people who seem to be doing some weird stuff, that they would be like, yeah, but we still lose. No, it's just there's just such a like avarice that it's like, yeah, we just no, if we do this, this, and this, we get to run the place. Yeah, you might get to run the place for a minute, but at the end of the day,
You're not in charge.
you're
You
screwed.
lose.
I mean,
Yeah.
you're not on the right side here. So,
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna head down.
all right,
Good
All
to
right.
see you, Matt.
I'll have a good little thing. Like I said, if she wakes up, I'll burn
All right. Good to see you, man.
good to see you. All right, thanks, Matt. Love you, bud.
Yeah, man.
You couldn't tell that he's as tall as I am if we
It's
stood up. He's 6'2". He's
oh wow.
Yeah.
He's not little Matty anymore. Oh,
no, I know it's
little Matt. He was
crazy.
such an adorable kid.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, you were pretty adorable too at one point.
yeah.
You know,
I was a cute kid at one.
you
No,
were.
I
Anyway, yeah. Back to what you were saying. So,
yeah,
so,
man.
so the girls, you know, and again, it seems to me if there were bad stuff going on, they'd be more hysterical about it. But what you're saying is they weren't to the point where it was scary yet. They, as far as
No.
they knew, they just kind of got lured in and suddenly saw a light up there and said, "Oh, let's see if that's the way out." Lo and behold, you know, somehow it
Well,
was.
and again, I hate to even say this because it's like how much of this is affecting my brain, but it's like I know enough to know. Did you see those girls? Those were all very young girls. I'm gonna say they're all virgins. They're all, you know what I'm saying? These are
Odds are,
for
yeah,
for these people, that is prime real estate.
yeah,
That is where you get the most demonic activity from.
yeah,
That is the most offensive to God. How about let's put it that way?
yeah,
It's the most egregious way to offend God.
yeah, yeah,
You kill me, right? The guy down the street, yeah, he's got a life and his life is valuable, but I'm saying Satan's not going to come up like, yeah, I'll make you the ruler of the world for killing that idiot. Like, no,
right, right.
no. There's no
Yeah,
power
you
there.
go after the pure and the innocent and
The
yeah,
pure, the innocent, the one that God, it's why is the height of their adventure, their goals, the height of offense to God? That's a sign.
yeah,
Everything they do is to offend Jesus. They don't care about offending Buddha. No one cares about offending Hindus.
yeah,
There's nobody persecuting Buddhists. Nobody's going around finding atheists and saying, you better believe in something.
yeah.
They only want to kill Christians, and they want
Yeah.
you to be quiet about it. They want you to be okay with it.
Well, and historically, even beyond Christians, Jews. I mean, that, you know, it said there all the girls were Orthodox Jews. You know, so it is kind of ironic and twisted as that sounds, with your love of Israel, but simultaneously there's this, you know, not only do we need to kill Christ followers, we need to kill God's chosen people.
Yep.
And it does make you kind of do a double take because it's like, but aren't you one of that master race? That's yeah, I don't know. I don't.
They said Epstein was only they said Epstein would not allow blacks on his island
Oh yeah,
because he only wanted to kill the enemy of his people, which he claimed were whites. What is that?
yeah,
Like, well, hold on a second. So you were only, that's what I mean when I say there's multiple groups vying for the same attention, vying for the same control.
yeah, yeah,
They're not all in sync, But if
Yeah.
I expose you, I expose myself. So anyway, I think that Palantir is something that we should look into some more, and maybe we could spend some time looking into some of these questionable companies, seeing in their origins, what they're doing, because sometimes the conspiracy is just what even you can just prove. It's not even, you know what I mean? Those people really were going to have that meeting. Ted Cruz was really going to be there.
Yeah.
Ted Cruz really goes to meetings about potentially World War III.
Yeah. Well, and even bigger than World War III. I mean, it's the what's after. You know, what's the carnage? Who's going to be there to rebuild in our own image, kind of
Yeah,
thing. You know,
yeah,
yeah, yeah. When you start thinking on the scale of some of the people and the resources that they have, you know, if you watch the whole Marvel universe stuff, and you think about the big bad guy that says, "Damn, I'm going to wipe out half the universe because then everything will be fine," and then he realizes that it didn't work out that way. But what does he say? I'm going to do next. Next time, I'm going to have to wipe everyone out and build it in my own image. So it's not even like for him, the whole story is about him doing that. But to him, the whole story is about what happens after I do that.
right,
You know what I mean? So
right,
it's
right, right.
almost a foregone conclusion that we're going to start World War III. It's just a matter of who are we going to blame it on, but more importantly, um, what are we going to do after? How big's my piece of the pie going to be? You
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
and so it's an interesting, yeah, the just the ego that has to go into it. That says, well, sure, we're going to wipe out half the planet, but what's going to happen then? And it's like, did you just say, sure, we're going to wipe out half? Like to me, that's the story. That's the lead, man.
okay.
Um, and to others, that's just the next step in what's going to happen. And you go, oh, okay, well, all right.
Yeah. It's scary when you think about it. I, I don't know what's coming, but I do think that getting people to see stuff that they've done in the past is a part of the process to get them to wake up. If we can't do anything else, we just want to get people to start seeing it. Hey, start paying attention. I want you to look at something once a week and be like, that is not, that story is a lie. Right? Because right now it seems like we can get into this default where we're like, it's the, how many times have you told yourself this week that the news that you heard could be a lie? It could be that they could have told me that story just to emotionally manipulate me.
Yeah, yeah, not many because I don't watch the news
Sure,
because it was a bunch of BS.
sure.
I mean, I learned that in the same workshops that you learned it
Yeah,
when they tell us, when the people that came and talked to us, the media literacy stuff said, just remember, all media is manufactured, including what you and I are doing. You
yeah,
know, all media is created at there's an end in mind, including newscasts. And when they first said that, I was like, yeah, you're right, but they don't control like what news happens every day, right? All they do is report on it. But then when they started to break down what the reporting looked like and the images that they used and the sound that they used, and even the way they would say things,
yep,
dozens of young girls were found.
yep.
Okay, well, first of all, nobody found them. They walked out. I mean, one of the headlines I saw was dozens of women were rescued. And I'm
Right,
like,
right. There was no
walked out.
rescue effort. Yeah,
Hey, we just came out of a tunnel and it's dozens. Well, yeah, it is. 4,000 is dozens. It's just a lot of dozens.
right, right.
So, and they were young girls, and then you see the pictures, and you go, they're all wearing long dresses and headscarves and very plain clothing. This isn't 70 random young girls. There's something that binds. These are either Amish girls, and then they say, oh, they're Orthodox Jew girls, and you go, oh,
Yeah,
okay,
because who's tracking them?
that's
Because
a
I'm because
significant, yeah.
because I'm sure the local school district has a list of all those girls, right? They know exactly how many of them are there, and like who do we go check with to see who's keeping
Depends
track
on
of the Orthodox Jew girls?
depends on what compound they came from.
All right. I'm saying, how many Orthodox Jew girls can I move under tunnels in a year that
get
you
away
don't
with it.
notice?
Right, and nobody picks up on it. Yeah.
Thousands, hundreds of thousands.
So
Do we even know where those girls come from?
right.
Do they have
Well,
parents?
that was the other thing. I'm like, okay, were these girls gone for 20 minutes or 3 days and clearly we don't have all the story because we just picked up on it
Sure,
on a
sure.
headline. But it seems to me in the two paragraphs it would include, oh, the girls went under at 7:30 and they walked out at 7:45. Oh, well, that's why they weren't reported. Nobody even realized it takes them that long to walk from the hotel to the restaurant. So
Do we
nobody
know?
would oh my God, was there a hotel? Was there a restaurant? Was there a school trip? Was there a school? Where are their parents? Do they have, what are they, okay, now we're starting to ask some questions that you go, well, now you're just coming up with stuff in your head.
You're
Yeah, I
just
know.
crazy.
And there's a reason that they didn't report that. Wouldn't that be in the first paragraph? These girls had been missing for 3 days and not reported. Whoa, that's significant. Or like I said, did they disappear 20 minutes ago? Well, they were just on their way from point A to point B. They would have been reported in an hour if they didn't show up at point B, but we don't know what point A is and point B is and how much that, so back to that idea that you were saying, like when's the last time you watched the news and said, I think this could be a lie. Yeah, it's all media is manufactured. So you have to understand what's the agenda, what's going on, who's manufacturing it to what end, or is it just to inform us of what's going on around it? Probably.
Right, right.
Hold on just a second. Yeah, we'll start. Can we take about a 2-minute break?
Sure, sure.
Okay. All right. Give me just a minute.
All right, all right.
No, that's fine.
To look up Palantir. Let me see. All right.
All right. Thanks. We got a used car parking lot out front,
Oh,
and he just fixed one of the vehicles so it can drive. We just had to put the new battery in it. So he's like, "Hey, can I drive it?" I'm like, "Well, it's insured, but there's no license plate on it. So here's the bill of sale and the title and
okay. Yep. So
pulled
you
over
can actually, yep.
and block."
Okay.
And when you're testing a vehicle, you don't drive funny. You don't slowly get up to speed and like,
Yeah. You're going. Yeah. You're punching
"Eh,
it.
let's see if it blows up. I want it to blow up before I buy it."
Yeah.
So that's, yeah. He said, "Can I just run it up to the corner and back?" And I go, you better take the title with you just in
Just
case.
in case. Yeah. Especially out there. They love to,
Yeah.
they're probably bored.
Yeah, yeah, right. Grand Ledge doesn't have a lot of Class A felonies going on. So when they get pull somebody over, they're like,
There
"Follow
used
it
to
in,
be
Bubba."
there was a cop out there. His name was Bleedernicked. I won't tell you what we called him, but his name was Bleedernicked. And He told us one time, I don't know where we were at. He said Grand Ledge wouldn't have a crime rate if you guys weren't here. He said, you guys are the crime rate. It's you guys. It's you. There's no one else anywhere doing anything in the whole town except for you guys.
What did he catch
Okay.
you doing? Breaking curfew?
I think they actually, I don't encourage anybody to do this. They actually went into A&W. They went into A&W and they went into the concession stand a few times on the high school, and they made out with a few dollars the first time and a bunch of candy both times.
Yeah.
And so then Jimmy McLean, shout out to Jimmy McLean if he finds himself watching this somehow. Jimmy McLean had a old car broke. You know, just old people used to keep the cars in the driveway. He had one in the back of his driveway that didn't run the whole time we were in school. And so that's where we stashed all the candy that we had taken. I've got a couple of my buddies who actually caught felonies for going to A&W. I was the smart one that was like, yeah, no, I think I'll just wait out here. I don't think I've left anything in A&W. I think I'll wait out here with all my stuff.
I don't think
I don't think I want to go inside. And so they all got felonies and I didn't. Anyway, so I was just sitting here looking up Palantir. I was looking up actually Project 2030. This is kind of creepy. Why by 2030, I guess is what I want to know. It seems kind of, you see this here? No poverty, all by 2030 now, from 4 years from now. They want no poverty, zero hunger, good health and well-being, quality education, gender equality, clean water and sanitation. I think that's a big part of it, is they're trying to secure the water because we're going to be running out of water soon. Affordable clean energy, decent work and growth, industry innovation, reduced inequalities, sustainable cities and communities. These all seem on the surface seem pretty good, right? Life below the water.
Oh, this already exists.
Right.
In heaven.
Now, the thing is, like, for instance,
this isn't even I don't care who you put together, you're never going to get all those things.
Right.
You're sure as heck not going to get them in the next 4 years.
Right. And if they want, like, how differently is the world going to look if they really think that that's what they got to do?
If they could accomplish one of those in the next 50 years, it would be Nobel Peace Prize. I mean, it'd be the biggest thing in the world. It'd be curing cancer, man. It'd be huge. If they could do one of those in the next 50 years.
Well, you mean releasing the cure to cancer? They have the cure to cancer. Don't be confused.
It'd be curing cancer. I mean, it would be the biggest thing. You know, it would be like, oh my, you did what? You know, it's like, oh yeah, no big deal. Something we did last Thursday. Cool.
We conceptualize with dark matter. You mean to tell me they have a cure for cancer? You can theorize dark matter. You're saying that we think we got all the ways to the point of our science where we say, hey, we don't know. But the only way we would know is if there was something that existed that was called dark matter that we knew nothing about, that behaved in a way that we had no idea, then we would know. Dark matter, boom, whole thing. They know what cancer, if you can tell me how a cancer cell starts, where it comes from, what feeds it, what does it, how you shut it down, how you kill it, how you stop it from reproducing, they know how to cure it. They know how to cure
it. Back to the 2030. Yeah, if you could do any of those in 50 years, it would be, I mean, it just, what would the headline be? You know, if you could do one of those, it would be on the same level as curing. If somebody were to go public or to figure out a cure for cancer, and it doesn't matter how you look at it, if they were to go public with that news today and we just saved all these lives, what would the headlines be tomorrow? I mean, what would Trump have to completely follow up in order to beat the headline that we've cured cancer? Right. If it would go public tomorrow. And each one of those things that was on that list for 2030, it's that level stuff.
Right,
you know?
Right. Yeah.
So the idea that like we're going to do all these by 2030, you're not stupid. You're not stupid. you know that you're not going to do a single one of those. Now, you might move the needle 1% on 2 or 3 of them, and that would be significant because it would improve the lives of literally millions of people around the globe if you could move the needle 1% on 2 or 3 of them. That'd be great.
Yep.
But to say, "Oh, we're gonna reach this by whenever," you're delusional. You're making that up,
Yeah.
and you know it, and you
Yeah,
think we don't. I think
I
that's
agree.
where you and I see things very, very close to the same.
Yeah.
It's like, man, there's some people out there saying some stuff that are just straight foolishness, and they're pretty sure that we're just souping it up. Just like,
Yep.
"Oh, yeah,
Th-
yeah, yeah, that's cool."
We've said it before in a different episode. Take the dumbest person you know. The and I'm not saying, the dumbest, most, and that's how the government thinks of all of us.
Yeah.
That's how they think all of us. They think we're all just fed slop.
And once again, even government is, minimizing who you're talking about.
Yeah. Right.
I mean,
Right. Right. Yeah. Right.
it
True.
it's
True.
cute that we have 3 branches and we have this, one of the things that the current administration has done is he's shown us exactly how weak our system is of checks and balances because it's always been, pardon the language, but it's always been the gentleman's agreement.
Right.
That's what we're gonna do.
Right.
When the judicial branch says, "Hey, you can't do that," then we're gonna go, "Okay, well, we won't do that then." Well, now we have an administration that the judicial branch says, "You can't do that," and he says, "So, I'm gonna do it anyway. What are you gonna" it's like when you square up with the bully and the bully goes, "What are you gonna do, beat me up?" "Oh, my dad told me to stand up to you. I'm
Right.
standing up to you. You're supposed to back down, and instead you're not backing down. Oh, now what do I do?"
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go back over here in my corner because when
Hmm.
I stood up to the bully didn't back down. That's what my dad told me was gonna happen.
Yep.
Well, for 250 years, dad has said, if the legislature says this and the judicial says this and the executive says this, y'all got to figure it out. Well, now we have an executive that says, screw you. And I'm going to stack the judicial with people who don't necessarily agree with me, but they're going to because they know after the carnage, I'm going to be the one that's got the power.
Yep.
And the legislature is afraid of the base. I mean, they're not afraid of Trump. They're afraid of the base. I mean,
Right.
there are these rednecks that are driving up and down my street in the big 4-wheel drives with the flag waist and they're such cowards that they have masks on and shades and a hat down. And I'm like, Billy, you can take the crap off your face. We all know it's you. Like, what the hell are you doing? We've
Right.
known that you're a dumb redneck for 25 years and you're a racist and you beat your girlfriend. We've known that for 25 years. Why the mask? Why the hat? Why the
Right.
what the hell? So and that's who legislature the elected officials are afraid of. They're not afraid of Trump. They're afraid of Trump's media outreach. They're afraid of the
Mhm.
base. And that's the scary part to all this is Trump isn't the problem right now. It's our current president is not the problem. He is a symptom. He is a he is a catalyst, but he is not the problem.
No.
Problem is a quarter of our population seems to think that it's okay to behave that. Like, what are we going to do about that? So even saying that the government thinks we're stupid to me, it's like yes, but they seem to be one small slice of the pie
Yeah.
that, that thinks we're stupid.
Yeah.
And again, I think that's where you and I do see things alike. Is it's yeah, it's this isn't a oh if you cut the head off then the serpent dies. This is a if you cut the head off, well that's fine because there's 14 serpents that you're dealing with, and tomorrow there'll be 14
Yep.
more, and tomorrow there'll be
It's the issue we just ran into with with the Iranians. We thought we were going to be able to just displace their government and thought it would just, yeah, but that's not how that works.
yeah
And
no
they've seen you do that before and they planned for that.
right
They
right
planned exactly for that. So,
yeah
well, this has been a cool episode. What are we going to talk about next week?
I don't
I
know
think we should, again, I'm enjoying these conversations. As my schedule sort of stabilizes, I think it'll make, um, it'll naturally make time for us to be able to make a deeper dive for these conversations, come prepared with a couple more points and not ever do a repeat of the sigils episode, although I do want to do a successful sigils episode. I would like to convey that information properly. And bring some guests on, and invite some people on to have some good conversations too.
Yeah,
But
I think that the AI thing is still stuck in my craw. It hasn't, and I think that was our first or second episode. I think it was our
yep,
second episode. Um, that it's still like I work with a lot of people who have really strong faith, and you see it on all the social media. Like how many churches are using Chat GPT or EIEIO or whatever the hell? How many people are using Chat GPT to create their flyer for next Wednesday's pop? Churches that are doing this. And I look at it and I go, have you, do you, can you, is that, did the entire congregation get stupid? Because you used to say, hey, Sister Mary, we're having a potluck next Thursday. Can you whip up a flyer? And she'd go, oh, yeah. Where, how's that look? Oh, you spelled church wrong. Okay, there. How's that, Pastor? That's fantastic. Thanks, Sister Mary. Let's make copies of it. Let's get it posted on our face chat book thing, and let's do that. And now it's, oh, I'm going to go into Chat GPT and put the name of our church and our logo, and it's going to give me and all of them what's the name. I mean, that's the other you can tell when something is AI generated.
yeah,
So it's not even, I mean, one of the ministries that I'm working with right now, I'm on the board. Somebody said, oh, I'm going to go do the AI thing because I have an idea of what I want the logo to look like, and I'm just going to AI it. And I said, can I do that? Is that okay if I take care of that? Because I got a friend who's actually a human being that's a graphic designer who likes to do pro bono work for us. And I'll see if she's available to come up with the logo. Oh yeah, that'd be fine, no problem. So it's not that they're like hooked into the AI; it's just so convenient. And
very
so,
convenient.
and the logo would have looked, in my eyes, it would look terrible because it would have had that cartoony. This is who we are, and it's like, yeah,
Yeah,
no, we have a human design it. So somehow, and I say all that to say, if we can come back to the AI, not necessarily next week, but I really want to think about this a little bit more and get the word out a little more, especially against ministry and well-meaning people who are just trying to do things easier and faster. You say, sorry, but there's some things you can't do easy and fast. You got to do them. You got to like Jesus was a carpenter, right? He wasn't a contractor. He was
right, right.
because A, that's what you had, carpenters. You had people made stuff with their hands, and if they messed it up, what did they do?
Yeah, start fresh. Yep, start
Had
from
to
the
go
beginning.
slow,
Yeah,
be deliberate. They had to, and things still got screwed up,
yeah,
but it was few and far between because I already put 40 hours into this piece, and if I mess it up, I can't just hit a button. I start all over again. So some things, I think we're trying to do things too fast. And I think AI is helping us with that addiction to speed, and I wouldn't mind coming back to that a little bit, and just kind of going, hey y'all, can we dig a little bit deeper? Can
no,
we?
I definitely agree.
Somebody even said, "Oh, all of the AIs do things the same," and I said, "No, they don't. They're vastly different." I said, "Yeah, basically, you enter a prompt and it gives you what you want." But I said it's different divisions of hell. There's different demons
Yep,
that run
yep,
division,
yep.
and I knew how it was going to be received. Right? It was going to be, oh, Ken's kind of being a smart aleck again. But when I said it, there was no depth. I said there are different divisions of hell. There's different demons that run the different kinds of AI. Just like there's Ford and there's Chevy. They're both vehicles, but they're different divisions. Different people run them. Different goals. AI is the same way. It's different demons
Lust
run
and murder,
it.
envy,
Yeah.
jealousy. Yeah,
So I said that, and everybody kind of went, "What do you mean?" And I go, "Well, I said what I said. I mean,
yep, yep. So let's go. Yeah, I think that's good. Let's come back to it. I think that's even part of something I had to go through with this show. In the beginning, I was like, because
oh yeah,
I was like,
I
and
remember."
and what's so significant about that is that timeline aligns itself exactly when I had just come to that side. Prior to that, I'm telling you, Ken, 6 months prior to that, all I would scream was, as soon as they release this AI, don't touch it.
Don't do it. No.
Don't do it. It's a demon. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Yeah.
And then I did it once, and I'm like, oh God, that was so easy.
Easy. Well, it's that idea. I mean, you just kind of said, lust,
Yeah.
murder, gluttony, etc.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe we can get into this later. One of the biggest sins, it's not a sin. One of the biggest threats
Mm,
to you and I's soul, to get right down to it, one of the biggest threats to our souls isn't a sin. It's temptation.
mm,
Temptation. And what does temptation not cover? Oh, one more cookie. Well, one more cookie isn't going to send you to hell. Just a few miles more faster. I'll get there a few minutes early. Yeah,
yep.
and that's not going to send you to hell. It's only a few dollars on my taxes.
Right.
Well, that's probably not gonna send you to hell. And eventually, when do you get to the point that it is? That now there is sin, that there is stuff that God's going, yeah, that one more cookie wasn't bad, but you know what I call that? Gluttony.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he says it in the New Testament, at the beginning of the New Testament. It's like, yeah, you guys aren't dummies. You know that murder is murder, and I don't appreciate that. But what do you think anger is? Right? You guys know what adultery is, and you know that I don't appreciate that. But what do you think it is to look at a naked woman or any woman in a lustful way, whether
Yep.
she's clothed or not? That's adultery.
Yep.
So what is one more cookie? Oh, yeah, that's gluttony.
Yep.
Well, how did you get to one more cookie? Temptation. Temptation.
Yep.
Every one of those. I'm tempted to get angry at that guy that cut me off.
That was you
What
murdered
did
him.
I need to? I tried to murder Donovan. It's like, oh man.
Yeah.
And then how
Foaming
did
at the mouth.
Donovan
Yep.
react? Out of anger, out of revenge.
Yep.
Oh yeah, God also said, "Vengeance is yours."
Mine,
No,
said the
he
Lord.
said,
Yep.
"Don, vengeance is mine, not yours. You need to let that guy go." And
Yep.
Don goes, "I can't.
Not a chance. Not today.
Too tempted.
Yep.
I'm tempted to follow
That's
him and
good.
get him busted." So that whole idea of temptation is, and that's what it is with AI, because AI in and of itself isn't a sin.
Yeah.
It's the fact that we're opening a door and letting somebody have some sway in our life that we should not to. And why do we do it? Because we're tempted to do things easier.
Yep.
It's faster. It's more convenient. I
Yep.
don't have to be an artist. I don't have to call on, Sister Mary and go, "Hey, Sister Mary, can you help me with this?" So
Well, yeah. And the very thing that bringing it back to even this show, like I said, the very thing that I'll critique about this show are the imperfections, the things that I want to be this polished, finished product. 10 years in the game, we've already done it. That's my goal. I want this to be. And sure, I could have had ChatGPT banging out scripts every episode, and we just sit here and read our scripts. We get our polished episode. It's 31 minutes and a half, and we're done. And it's done, and it's pre-cut, and we cut the next one and record. We can do 10 seasons right here today this week.
we don't even need us.
Yeah, at this point, yeah.
ChatGPT needs 5 minutes of me talking and 5 minutes of you
Yep.
talking. It goes,
I got it. I got it from here. Yeah.
Well, don't even have to show up.
But I think that which is missing, that element is going to be the thing that makes us stand out here in just a second. In a second, it's going to be people looking for just that. These guys aren't using AI. They're not using a real fancy setup. They're not using flashy graphics every 5 minutes to keep you informed. You really have to have your attention span under control and be able to really internalize some information. But that's my kind of people anyway.
Yeah, people that want to listen, that want to focus, that want to pay attention and not be taken by the flashy.
Yeah.
We don't have to be as good looking as Joe Rogan, even though
Right.
we are.
Right.
We don't have to be, the prettiest voice in the room for
Yep.
someone to go, "What are they talking about?"
Yep.
That's what we're on.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's the hook.
And I don't believe half the stuff that you're talking about.
Exactly.
Fascinating to me. And you know that I've changed a few thoughts in the last year of having these conversations, and I'm going,
Way too much influence.
Yeah.
And that's the beauty of it, is because this journey of being a conspiracy theorist, which I think one day you will, it's inevitable. You can only Because you're a logical person. This is the thing. I
Got it.
believe that if I can make it make sense, there's going to be a moment. I'm saying you're going to be outside crying in the lawn. Like, oh my God,
It's
it's
real.
flat. It's really flat. It's flat.
I can't go
Oh my,
around.
I can't. I just, you're not even going to see the word. The sun's going to be a little bit less bright when you look
Yeah,
at it.
you son of a- I'll be right back, honey. I got to drive down to
Yeah,
Ohio.
that's
Beat,
it.
beat the
That's it.
snot out of Donovan.
Man. No, but I think that's a great point is the distraction. Is that what you just said? Distraction. Or yeah.
The temptation.
The temptation rather.
Temptation.
Temptation.
Yeah.
The temptation of it all. Yeah. I think that's good. And AI, again, that's been one of the things is like to stay away from it because um I even go back to when we talked about um the Euphrates River drying up and those 4 demons that are said to be in there. They said that that'll be dried up by 2030. And when it dries up, the Bible says, it says the name of the river in the Bible. Does that not scare you? Does not scare you that you can go in your Bible and it says that once that river, Euphrates, that's drying up right now, is completely dry, there will be released 4 demons that have been chained there since the fall of Satan. They were they, and I love people love when I go into my layman's terms and I start talking about the Bible because I really do it in a way I guess that's unique to me. They literally, he was especially offended that they fell. He let Satan run free. Satan was the head angel, and he's just like, yeah, well, if you don't want to be up here, that's fine. I guess you could just have Earth. It's fine. We'll take care of it in a while. I'll come down and talk to you in a while about it.
Yeah.
But you 4? Oh no. You 4, you made me especially mad.
Yeah.
You go here. And not only that, but then what is it said that'll happen? Once they get released to wipe out 1/3 of mankind. That's their goal. Hello, guys. Thank you back from Seeds and Secrets. I just want you to know that in 4 years, there will be 4 homicidal demoniacs released from underneath the Euphrates River, and they'll be coming for 1/3 of us. So may the odds ever be in your favor. What are we going to do? Do you have a plan for the Euphrates demons?
Do I personally?
Yeah, I'd like to know your Euphrates demon plan.
It's well, yes. Yeah. I am a temporary I'm a soul, temporary body.
Come on and
Right?
preach. Come on and preach.
So to me, I all the things that have happened with the last administration, I almost get flippant with some of it. Oh my God, this is gone and this system is going to fall apart. People are going to die. And I go, yep, people are going to die. Someone has made a decision. And because of that, we're going to lose some support systems for things like single moms and disadvantaged families and mentally ill and people struggling with, use disorders, addictions, and whatnot.
Yep.
Even people who have things like diabetes and cancer are going to die. Yep. Well, how can you be so? I'm not. So I'm pissed about it. I'm not happy about it. Um, but what can I do about it? Well, I can pray. And some people go, because you don't understand what a 10-pound hammer prayer is,
Right. Right.
And I guess if I'm not doing my job of, we talked about this before, repent, right? Love your neighbor, don't be a dick, and preach the gospel. That's our job. So if I'm doing 1 and 2, but I'm not preaching the gospel, then it doesn't matter if I have a plan for those 4 demons. I'm not doing what God told me to do in the first place. So the least of his worries for me
That's
right now
powerful.
is what's going to happen when these demons get tore loose. Well, you aren't doing what I told you to do in the first
Probably
place.
not coming for you.
So right, so you're not a threat you're not one of the people that Satan needs to worry about. So if you get killed, it's collateral damage. You're going to get to heaven, and some people are going to hear, "Well done, my good and faithful servant," and you're
Yes.
going to hear, "Well, you gave it a shot. We're proud of you. We got a room for you in the back." And you're going to go, but but I gave homeless people, and I served, and I helped people. I created a sauce company, and I gave the money to ministries. I did.
Yeah.
Nice try, my lukewarm servant.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Leave room for you in the back. That's my plan for demons. Is I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing. If anything, now I should increase my. I mean, he just left. My boy just left. I'm convinced if his heart stops beating right now, that yeah, he's going to heaven.
Yeah.
But he's got friends that might not be. He's got relatives. He's got other relatives that might not be. Well, as part of my job, not living in such a way and speaking the words that came from God's word and saying, "Are you taken care of?" I don't mean financial.
Right.
I don't mean tomorrow. I mean 10,000 years from now. You know where you're going to be.
Right.
Do you believe in heaven and hell? Do you believe what's written in the Bible? And if you do you believe this part? And if you believe this part, have you prayed this prayer yet? And if you haven't, uh, what are you waiting for?
Yeah.
Let's get her done. And then once that's done, what's the next step? And what's the next step? And what's the next step? Because I think once we say that prayer, I believe once we say, the prayer to bring Jesus into our heart, we're getting into heaven. And some people aren't quite there. They're like, well, you got to do that. And well, I think the and is, you make it on the football team by joining the football team. Now, if you want to be good at it, you got to work out. You got to do nutrition. You got to study plays. You got to talk to the rest of the team. You got to live a life that is conducive to you being successful on the football team, or you can just be on the football, right? And you never play in a game, and you never, because you weren't willing. Well, it's the same thing here. It's like, yeah, you can get into heaven, or do you want to be one of those people that the devil says, you know what, when those four fallen angels, when those four demons get released, all four of them have your address. And you go, yeah, bring it on.
Bring it on. Yep.
Bring it on. Because my God's bigger than those demons.
Yep.
And if I die in the battle, I'm going to die a glorious death fighting for Jesus. My neighbors are going to go, okay, where's that prayer again?
Yeah. Yeah.
So whether I live or die, it's for Christ. It's for Christ. It's for the kingdom. And I'm not there yet, but that's my plan, is just try to be a better Christian, man. Do the things that God said to do, and do more of it. That's my plan.
And I don't good plan.
Or demons, or some guy that owns the island, or all right, man, this is Christ. That's what I got. I got Christ that says, you're on my team, now get your butt in the game. Practice, nutrition, lift the weights, learn the plays, do what you're supposed to do, and then get in the game. That's where I am.
Well, I think
that's where you are too, by the way.
It is. It is.
For those that are wondering, is Donovan really? Yeah. Donovan and I aren't in lockstep on the way that we practice our faith, but we are absolutely in lockstep in the amount that we believe in our faith, and we know where we're going after the final bell rings here. We know where we're going to be in 10,000 years.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I think that's a powerful thing you said. I've never thought about it that way. Where are you going to be in 10,000 years?
Yeah.
Do you think that you close your eyes and just go away? You think it's just going to be a poof? And avoid a nothingness?
And if you do, okay, let's just go there for a second. Let's say all this stuff in the Bible is BS. But what if you got in the game? And what if you made life easier and better for some people around you because of the way that you behave? Not Bible thumping them and not pounding on them because they're sinners, and not picking on them because they're gay, or because they're Jewish, or because they're trans, or because they're poor. No, not that. Love them. Love them. Love them. Make their life easier. And what if all the stuff in the Bible is wrong, and when we die, we don't have a soul. We're just dust, man. We just go into the earth, and the worms eat us, and that's that. Did you make somebody's life a little bit easier while you were here? Yeah. Okay. Then you were a winner. You were a
Yep.
winner. Even if heaven and hell don't exist, which I absolutely believe they do, like the nose on my face. But even if I'm wrong, what if I make life easier for a few more people before I'm worm food? And I kind of feel like, okay, I'm willing to take that chance. I'll do
Yep.
that. I'll do that. I can
Yep.
do that.
What I'm not willing to do is gamble in the opposite way. I'm not willing to put
Take that
all
chance.
my eggs in the basket and say, you know what? I'm thinking it's nothing. I'm thinking there's going to be, I know that every other society and every other culture believes that there is something afterwards.
Yep.
They're all crazy. They're all wrong.
Right.
I know all these people who have these near death experiences. We watched the one that's one of the clips that's going right now is our Judgment Day episode when we watched that young man and his
Yeah.
experience.
Yeah.
A significant one, you know?
Yeah.
It's like everybody believes there's something going on afterward, but you were the genius that figured out that it was all BS.
My, I mean, what you just said, my brother did that. He, when he died, um, somehow miraculously, just the way the rest of us do, he ended up in heaven because just, a week and a half before he died, he said, man, I got to pray that prayer that, that you know about that I don't know about. 10 days before he died. And he
Wow.
was sick, chronic illness.
Wow.
So he knew he was going downhill. But
Yep.
that's what he did his whole life. That's what he gambled. Obviously, he knew there was something else out there because at
Yep.
the end he said, "I need to switch teams,"
Yep.
and he did. And I'm so grateful for that. But what if he had been hit by a bus a year earlier? And he lived a life that he should have been hit by a bus a year earlier. I mean, he was out there. He was on the edge. He wasn't afraid to do things. Um, but you're right. It's like, am I willing to take that chance with my life? No, no,
The,
because
the stakes are too high.
I think God is in charge, but He also has given us so much capacity to make those choices that it's like to just sit back and say, "Well, God will know when to warn me that I'm almost gone." You're right, He does, and He did, and He has been, and you're not listening.
Yeah. Yeah. The whole time, as soon
Right,
as you were born, that was the sign that you were going to die.
right, right.
That was
So
like the
yeah,
sign, like it's coming.
yeah, yeah,
It'll be here before long.
yeah. None of us have the time that we think we have.
No, of course not.
Has the amount of time left.
Of course
So
not.
so anyway, so that's my plan. Lusos or demons. Bring them on. I hope that I'm ground zero. I hope they come at me. I hope they come at
Yep.
me first.
Yep.
No, I dare you, devil. Send
Yep.
them my
Yep.
way because I'm going to stand
And that ought
behind
to be
you.
our attitude. That really ought to be
I'm
the
just,
attitude.
yeah. I used to, every now and then I preach at church and I'd say, devil, give me your best shot. Give me your best shot because I'm standing behind Jesus. I'm not stupid. I'm not standing next to him. I'm not going before him. I'm not, no, I'm standing behind Jesus because when the devil himself chooses to come after me, and he won't, I'm not that important. But if the devil himself chooses to come after me, he's going to have to go face to face with Jesus. And he's done that once,
Yep.
right? And it didn't work. He killed him once and it didn't work. It just flat didn't work. So the devil's going to see Jesus and he's going to go, I'm going to go pick on the neighbor now, right? I'm not going to mess with the guy that's standing behind Jesus. Well, I'm standing behind Jesus. Right? Whoever you want. I'm not into the Jesus is my co-pilot. I'm like, what are
Oh,
you,
right. Yeah,
stupid?
yeah.
This is Jesus. You're not going to let him drive.
Right.
What what could you possibly do better than Jesus?
Then Jesus. That is funny.
Does Jesus know
Oh,
how to stick shift? He invented it. I mean, it's like, why would you not let Jesus be the pilot? Yeah.
that
So
actually reminded me of this. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. That
go
actually
ahead.
reminded me of this short little video here. Um, let me show you this. Uh, I thought it was pretty cool.
He didn't expect this to happen when robbing a store. So this man walked into the store to rob it. And let's just say he picked the wrong store because as he began to demand money, the cashier did something that no one expected. She didn't freeze. She didn't panic. She didn't run away, but she stretched out her hands and began to pray to Jesus. And the thief began to get uncomfortable. You can see that he didn't like it.
Watch
But
his
this
arms.
next part is absolutely insane because it was like God himself stepped in and literally arrested this man. His hands went behind his back. He dropped to the floor, and the lady and her store were completely safe. The Bible says in 2 Thessalonians chapter 3, verse 3, the Lord is faithful. He will establish you and guard you from the evil one. And in Psalm 34, verse 7, it says, the angel of the Lord encamps around those who fear him and delivers them. Listen, there are moments that God doesn't just comfort you, but he actually intervenes. He steps in, he restrains evil, he protects his people. If you believe God is still doing things like this today, then share this video with.
I mean,
And you can tell me all day long, oh, that's staged, that's this, that's that. And it might have been, that may have been completely manufactured.
sure.
But you and I have heard stories from people who have had experiences like that firsthand. Did I ever tell you about the guy in Guatemala? The,
No,
the guy, the gang guy,
I
right?
don't think so.
So a couple summers ago, I got to go to Guatemala and spend some time with some Christians down there that basically run a group home for
Okay.
disabled kids. And he got to telling stories. The guy that runs it, he got to telling stories, and one of them, it didn't happen to him. It happened to a fellow missionary in one of the Central American countries. But these missionaries moved in. They set up some after-school program, okay, and they were helping kids and doing cool stuff. One of the local gangs came and pounded on the door one night and said, "You have 24 hours to be out of the country, or we're going to kill you. We don't appreciate what you're doing." So the guy said, "Okay." So he took it to prayer. He went inside and told his wife, this is what happened. That I believe these guys will kill us, and we need to pray because we knew coming here we weren't walking into a church in America.
Sure. Yeah.
We knew we were walking into a battleground, and we just came face to face with the battle. And so they're praying, and they decided, no, we're going to stay. And if they kill us, they kill us. We'll die for the glory of the Lord. That's fine. So the next day there was a knock at the door, and they're like, now what? So they open the door, and there was another gang who you would know the name of. I mean, they're international in their scope. But there was another member from another gang that said, "Are you such and such?" Yeah. Did you have, two or three guys visit you last night from such and such a gang and threaten your life? Yeah. And he said, "Don't worry about it. You're good. You don't have to worry about those guys." And he's like, "Okay, I'm sitting here talking to somebody with full face tattoos, full body tattoos.
Mm,
I should be fearing for my life, but all of a sudden he says, 'We got you.'" So the next morning, the pastor gets up, and those two or three guys were dead on his lawn, dead on his lawn. And he's like, "Should call the police? I don't like what just happened." Well, the second guy that knocked on the door's daughter was in the after school program, right? And he said, if those three guys from the rival gang kill that family, my daughter can't go to this after school program, and she loves these guys. She
mm,
loves these stupid Americans that are here, preaching the gospel and whatever. And if she likes it and those guys are threatening it, then
they're a
sorry,
problem to me.
I run this city, not them. So he
Wow.
called his guys and said, "Here's the three, and here's where I want them deposited in the morning." And
Oh
that was
wow.
that. In the pastor, the missionary was like, they don't, they don't ever want to give credit to the other team for things like violence and things like that. But like, God just used one of the most brutal international gangs that exists to protect an American missionary family in this foreign land, and did it through the most terrible ways possible. And it's like, well, have you opened your Bible?
Right.
Have you read
Seriously.
the Old Testament stuff? Oh
Seriously.
yeah, yeah. God can use anybody to do anything at
Yep.
any time.
Yep.
So did he protect you? Let's just go with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, so you hear stories like that, and again, even if that video that you just showed us was completely fabricated and staged, we know that things like that are going on all over
All
the
day
world
long. Yep.
with Christian missionaries, and not just American missionaries, missionaries from all the
Yep.
countries, all the tribes that are doing God's work, and things happen, and you go, "Wow, go ahead, explain that one."
Yeah, miracles are happening. And I think that's something that doesn't get stated enough. Miracles are happening still. God is still in the miracle business. He's still in the prophecy business. He's still in the deliverance business.
Yep.
He's still guiding steps. He's still ordering steps. He's still freeing slaves from captivity.
Today,
He's still,
tomorrow, and forever.
amen. He's still parting Red Seas. That's one of my favorite episodes, the giant episode. And I bring this point out anytime that we talk about it with people is it's like They were afraid of the giants. That's why they got lost for 40 years. I just didn't know that before we discovered. I didn't know that's the reason. Everyone you ask, they say, oh, they were murmuring, complaining. Yes, that's why he broke the tablets. That's why he went twice. They wandered because they were afraid of the giants.
They didn't. Yeah, they weren't. They didn't go in.
Yep.
They didn't go in. And they knew where in was.
They
I mean,
knew where it was. They were there.
they were there. Right. They sent spies in. They knew where in was.
They knew, yeah. We're not afraid of giants, whether they're under the Euphrates, whether they come in the form of, like you said, gluttony, lust, whatever. Because see, that's the thing. The people that are going to be watching this, we're ministering to ourselves, but there are some people out there that we're going to get the opportunity. Something I said allowed me to make it into your home. Something Ken said allowed us to keep talking in your home, on your phone, during this doctor's appointment, while you're sitting and waiting, getting your coffee ready, or while you're up overthinking at real late at night. When you're watching this, whenever this happens to make it to your ears. And there's something significant about it. Could be 30 seconds of something we said that's the catalyst that wakes you up, or that's that next push. And that's the reason we do this. The fun stories, yes, but the idea is that Jesus is open 24 hours. He's looking to save you 24/7. He's looking to save me 24/7. I'm just like you. I'm trying to put down the burdens on him, cast my cares on him, and also let go of those things that I need to let go of, right? So I just want you guys to relate to that. I want you guys to hear that, receive it. I love you guys. I think we'll wrap it here. Ken, final words.
Keep doing what he told you to do. That's it. Keep
That's
doing
it.
what he told you to do.
Well, we love you guys. We thank you for joining us for another episode of Seeds and Secrets. We hope that you will like, comment, share. We are on all platforms. We are trying to do good with our TikTok, our Instagram, our X, Facebook. What else? They almost tried to get us to update what's the other one? LinkedIn. We're linked. We're everywhere. Follow us everywhere, even where you listen to your podcast, Spotify and otherwise, YouTube, Apple Music. We're everywhere, you guys. Help us out. Give us a like. Leave us a comment. Let us know how we can improve. Let us know what you thought. Let us know what we should talk about next week. See you guys later. Peace.